Welcome to the Purple Positivity Podcast for August the 15th, 2018. I am your host, the amazingly adorable Rebecca Thistle, podcasting to you live-ish from my new used desk in my apartment, which I called Jeffrey Thistlebark. Yes. That's how it goes, Becca. You say yas because it sounds stupider. Oh, Lord. So, if you're a long-time listener of the show, first of all, I'm sorry. Second of all, you know that I assemble pens for a living. Yesterday something happened that really got me thinking. So, the kinds of pens that we assemble generally go to prisons. So they're what are called bend-easies. And so they're very basic type pens. You've got a little ink cartridge, and then you've got this tubing. Kind of looks like the sort of tubing you'd see at a doctor's office or something. And you insert the cartridge into the tubing, and voila, pen. So I was doing that yesterday, and there was one pen in particular. The tubing would not go onto the ink cartridge at all. And I mean, I tried to force that tube on there, and eventually I messed up the pen. The tube would not fit on that pen, and I messed it up. And so I went, God's below, and I set the pen aside and moved on to a different pen. I've got to assemble 2,500 of them. I don't have time to fuck around with one pen. So, and I'm gonna post a picture, the picture that goes with the show is going to be of that pen. But as I kept assembling, that pen stuck out in my mind. So it was all bent over and twisted up and messed up. And I started thinking about, that's how I feel in my life. I feel like someone's been trying to force something on me that doesn't fit. Just like that pen, just like me trying to force that tube on that ink cartridge. It wasn't the right fit, but I tried to force it anyways. Now, in my case, with regards to the pen, it was because that was my job. When it comes to me and people trying to force things on me, they do it out of the best of intentions. But it never seems to be the right fit. But they keep forcing it anyways. And then get frustrated that I get bent out of shape. Like that pen. So, I kept thinking about that. And it made me angry. It made me angry. And I was just so angry. And then I went, I'm tired of being angry about a pen. Even if it's a pen that's a metaphor for my life, I'm tired of being angry. And so I got up to go to the bathroom at one point, and I looked in the mirror and I went, hey, I'm not a pen. Which sounds like the most duh moment of all eternity. I am not a pen. Well, yeah, duh, Becca. You're not a fucking pen. But no matter how bent out of shape I may be, no matter how broken I may feel, because somebody tried to force something on me that didn't fit, metaphorically speaking, I'm not a pen. I'm not a dud. I'm not trash. I'm a human being. And I still have a purpose in this world. Now, this pen, unfortunately, is stuck with this tube on the end of it. I actually saved it. But, because I couldn't bear the thought of this pen being thrown away. I mean, I know there's really honestly nothing I can do with this pen. It's completely useless, but it's an object. And to me, it's a symbol. It's to remind me, I'm not a pen. I'm not that pen. No matter how messed up I may be because of other people's actions, at the end of the day, I have a choice. That pen doesn't have a choice. That pen doesn't even have a brain. But I have a choice. I have a choice about what I do with myself. Somebody else may be trying to force something onto me, one way or another. But I have a choice at the end of the day. Do I stay broken? Do I believe myself to be useless? Or do I get back up and keep going? And obviously the answer is I get back up and I keep going. I go and find my own damn perfect fit. No matter how much other people try to force something on me, ultimately, I am the master of my own life. I'm not a pen. I'm not a broken pen. I'm not a broken prison pen for sure. I'm a fancy pen. One of those fancy fountain pens that you have to fill up with ink. Yeah, that's what I am. Fancy. And maybe I'm running on empty with regards to my ink, but you know what? I still have a purpose in this world. But that's my choice to make. And I haven't always made that choice. It's really weird for me to get on this podcast and say, yeah, I've been feeling really broken and really angry. I'm the host of the Purple Positivity Podcast, and I feel negative emotions. You know what? Like I said on Monday's show, I'm human. I'm allowed to feel those emotions. And I'm also allowed to make the choice to move past those emotions once I've felt them. And so I think that's the two things that I took away from that pen was, well, three things. Was number one, yeah, I'm like that pen. I've been bent and broken by other people trying to force something on me that doesn't fit. Number two, I am not like that pen because I'm a human being and I have a brain and I have a will and I have a choice about what to do with myself. But number three, no matter how angry the realization of number one was, no matter how angry, it made me to realize, number one, I had a choice as to how long I stayed angry. I didn't have to continue to be angry. So those are 3 things I took away from that. I guess. Actually, really honestly, now that I say it out loud, because I initially was going to say, oh yeah, I have 2 things, and then I went, no, it's really 3. It ultimately still comes down to it's just 2. It's like, I may be broken, I may be bent because of other people's actions, no matter how well-intentioned. But I have a choice. Unlike that pen, I have a choice. I have a choice. I can sit and stay angry, or I can move forward. My favorite quote from Christopher Titus, and I've talked about this on this show in the past. My favorite quote from him is, "Why don't you climb down off your cross, use the wood to build a bridge, and get over it?" There's a time to throw yourself a pity party. You know? Because we all need a moment of feeling sorry for ourselves. I think it's important because it reminds us, or at least it reminds me, how much I hate feeling sorry for myself. I hate feeling powerless. I hate feeling out of control. I hate it. There's a time and a place for that, but it's got to be a finite time. A finite amount of time to say, poor me. Poor me. There's a finite amount of time for that. And then you get up and you go forward. So, I may be like a broken pen, but I'm not a pen. I have a choice. And that's all I have to say about that. So let me get into the things for which I am grateful this morning. I am grateful for the wind. I don't quite know how to explain it. When I got off work, it's always hot in the afternoons here. Period. It's Texas. If you know anything about Texas, it's hot in the afternoons in the summer. And so my coworker, whose husband gives me a ride home, she and I, we walked over to the Sonic next to where we work, and we were sitting out there on their little patio picnic area. And I had my back facing south. And there was this lovely breeze coming out of the south. And it was really weird because usually when wind is coming out of the south in any capacity, it's warm. But this was actually a cool breeze out of the south. And I was just going, wow, that's really nice. I mean, it wasn't like cold, but it was cool. And it was very refreshing and relaxing. And so when my coworker's husband pulled up and I got in the truck and we started driving off, like, my coworker had the window rolled down and I just closed my eyes. And I mean, I know some of that was just because the vehicle was moving, but even when the vehicle was stopped, like, that wind would come in and I just closed my eyes and let it hit my face. And it was a very refreshing thing. So I'm grateful for that wind. I'm also grateful there wasn't a lot of dust in that wind, because that always sucks. I'm also grateful today for root beer. I know I always do some like silly little food thing on this list, but I think sometimes we take a lot of food things for granted. We either look disdainfully on, food, or we just take them as a given. But, root beer is delicious. And it settles out my stomach really, really well, really effectively, really efficiently. I love it. And so I'm very grateful for root beer.